Okay, good morning. I thought I'd shoot a quick video on adjusting the driver blade. It can be done with air pressure, so you can turn down the air pressure on the line. So maybe try and run at a lower air pressure to make sure that the driver blade doesn't come out as far. However, on that tool, if it's sticking out further for your application, we may need to adjust the driver, and these steps will show you how to do that. So first thing first, make sure that the tool does not have any fasteners in it, okay? And make sure that you have maybe some safety glasses on just to make sure we don't get any injuries. First thing I'll do is connect it to the air source, and I'm going to shoot the tool without staples in it. So the reason to do that is it allows me to see how far the driver is now sticking out. So on this particular tool, it's flush. Now this just happens to be the model that this is, but yours is probably sticking out, maybe a quarter, maybe 3/16 of an inch. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to file that down so that the driver blade becomes shorter. And you can do it in a series of steps. So if your driver blade is sticking out and it's sticking out significantly, you could take a pencil and draw on the driver blade right now as to where you might want to file it down to. And then what we do is we'll disconnect the air, and we're going to grab the Allen key. So in the box there's an Allen key to open up the top head. I just happen to have the Allen key done here in a drill format, so it's a little bit faster for camera. And what I'm going to do is take the head of the gun off, and the whole thing just comes off like so. And of course there's the driver blade. And then what I'm going to do is loosen these front nose screws right here. You don't have to take them all the way out. You just have to back them off about 5-6 turns. And what that does is it gives you space for that driver blade to move a little bit more freely. So just tap it. So now the driver blade is out. So if you can see how much you want to take off the driver blade, now what we do is if you have a grinding wheel, like a benchtop grinder, I'll send a web link of what I use. Some people have them in their shops anyways. What you would do is dip the driver blade in some water, because you don't want to superheat the driver. It's not critical, but because you're not going to be grinding a lot. And then just touch it squarely to the grinding wheel until you take off a little bit of material. And of course, what I would do is do this in a series of steps, because obviously you don't want to take off too much and then the staple will be sitting higher than you want. But you do this in a couple of steps, you know, take off a 1/16 of an inch of the driver and then reinstall it in the tool and give it a shot. So of course, pretend that we dressed that on the grinding wheel. We've taken off a little smidge, and then we just look down into the tool. You can see which way the driver goes, and then just reinstall the driver. Just got to line up all those little nubs down there so it goes straight down. Of course, on camera, it's going to make it difficult. Oh, it's never this difficult. That's why we loosen those front nose screws, so that it falls in there easier. Well, there's more than one way. You can pull this off a little more. Oh, it's making me fight. Oh, we'll take the nose right off. There we go. So I just took the nose right off. Okay, so I got that done. It was a little longer than normal. Normally you can just slide it right in, but maybe I haven't had my first coffee yet. And then just reinstall the top head. And then what you can do is fire the tool into the leather or into the fur there and check for depth. And then hopefully you've taken enough off that will allow you to have the staple sitting a little bit more proud. Now, for some reason, if that hasn't happened, then you can just uninstall the driver again, take a little bit more off. So sorry for the delay on that, but I hope that helps.